This is where we belong.
Hi guys, and welcome to another video with Xander Freemaker, and welcome to Starfield. This is where we belong. You're damn right, this is where we belong. In this video, we're gonna talk about gossip. Now, we're not gonna talk about any gossip, not just like the women do it, you know. Oh, so-and-so cheated on who, and she cheated on him, and he cheated on her. Nah. This is not the kind of gossip we talk about. The kind of gossip I'm talking about is the kind of gossip that we men get up to on a daily basis. We talk about movies. We talk about video games. We argue over which was the best one, or the best movie, or the best video game. Our favorite lines from any movie, even those that are in black and white. You know, that's the kind of gossip I'm talking about. You know, that's what we get up to. I mean, the happiest moment in our lives was when we were kids. And now when people say to us, well, you know what, you act like kids now. Yeah, because we remember what it was like to be the happiest in our lives. And we want to bring that back into our, lives, even when we're in our 30s and 40s and 50s. Because we still dream of that ultimate adventure, of just escapism, escaping into deep space, or in the deepest jungles, or being a Jedi Knight, or a Sith Lord, or even, a magical wizard, or facing off hordes upon hordes of demonic creatures and orcs and dragons and you name it. I mean, dude, that's what just kids do. And you know what? We're just big kids. Like I said, we remember what it was like to be the happiest in our lives when we were kids, where we didn't care about anything, bills, or whether we wanted to get a girlfriend or not. We didn't care about these things. And even now, when we're about to play some of the most fantastic games on the planet, we get lost in that moment. The kind of gossip we're going to talk about today is Starfield. That's right, gossip about Starfield, because you know what, there is so much out there right now about Starfield that even I'm having a little bit of a trouble clearing it up and making sense of it, because I think there's just a lot of rubbish out there, as well as a lot of good. And I'm hoping I've kind of sorted out the good from the bad. And I want to present to you, some gossip rumors that are out there right now that everyone's talking about. And some of them have actually been confirmed. So let's dive in. Now, before I immerse everyone into this video, some of the gossip that I'm about to reveal, some of you may not like, and some of you may like or agree with me. So if I do upset you, don't go Thor on me or go Hulk on me. So anyway, so let's dive in, and I want to begin with something simple that I think pretty much everyone knows, and that is Phil Spencer. Now, if you don't know who Phil Spencer is a CEO of Microsoft Gaming, and he's like, at the top of his game. Microsoft have 120 million plus users. That's actually more than PlayStation 5. So he's a big player. Now, he's been playing Starfield for about 200 hours. Apparently he had this video game all the way back in November of 22. So he's been playing it, and he says he's done about 150 to 200 hours, and he's gone backwards and forth changing his background. He now says he's going to become like this ultimate pirate in the universe, and he's kind of giving us a few hints that what is the best character to be. So if you want to take over the, let's say, universe and become a real badass, maybe being a gangster is probably the best. The only way you're going to find out is just actually by trying it. So he's given us quite a few hints, but game-wise, he's already spent about 200 hours, and he's having a lot of fun. So, that's good news. He has not even covered anything yet. So he's still kind of, like, as he says, scratching the surface. That gives you an idea of how deep this game really is. So that is your first gossip that I've given to you, which is kind of like a good thing. this next piece of gossip is something that I've spoken about in previous videos, and I think it's worth mentioning again, and that is DLC. That's right, download content. I think you're probably thinking, oh no, not again, Xander, please stop it with the DLCs. But hey, I'm not the only one. I'm not alone in this gossip talk about DLCs. So let me talk about some people have been predicting about DLCs, and they're pretty interesting, so it's worth listening to. The first DLCs they're talking about are orbital bases, and this comes as dockyards and stuff, which will be part of maybe a planet. Now the other gossip that's going around, the rumors if you want to call it, are battleships and carriers. Now that's something that's pretty good. So we may find huge battleships that we may have to go in and fight. So there is a lot there to look at, and I think, right now, even as I'm saying this, your imagination is going wild. I bet my treacle tart your imagination is going wild right now, thinking of all the scenarios where you'd be on a battleship fighting bad guys, or it could be like a horror movie, you know what I mean, something like that. You understand where I'm coming from, right? We may even get some DLC content in the form of, like finding a new faction. That may also be on the cards. But here's another one, and I think I've mentioned this already in my previous videos. I believe, although we have 1,000 planets to explore, I believe, let's say, for the sake of an example, let's say there were 1,500 planets, actually what Bethesda had created. And let's say those 500 planets Bethesda held back. Now, why not hold them back and then release them as downloads as well, so that expanding the universe, the entire galaxy that we're in? I think that will happen. I think we will have that kind of, input in the game in form of DLC, where they will give us totally new systems, maybe even new missions which are very similar to finding the artifacts, for example. So I think that's an interesting concept. Now, that's the rumor I'm making up. That's a gossip you can spread if you want. But you know what? That's just the way my imagination is exploding. It's going to one end of the galaxy and then to the other. These are the kinds of gossips and rumors that are happening already out there in the world of Starfield. Now, my last piece of gossip, this one is, I'm not saving the best till last, but of course, this is a point of view only you can decide whether you think it's a good one or a bad one. So basically, and I think it's kind of a bit of both. And this is about invisible walls. That's right, I know you've probably heard it already, invisible walls. Where you land on a planet and you walk for 30-40 minutes and you end up at the end of that map, and all of a sudden game tells you, hey, go back to your ship, so that they could reload the next section of that planet. So if you were thinking that you were going to explore the planet totally freely, I'm sorry to say this ain't gonna happen. Now the question is it a good thing or a bad thing? Well, it's kind of like a tug of war right now, because part of me is saying, oh, screw it, alright, fine, we'll just have to live with it. And then a part of me is also saying, no, we shouldn't live with it. Why are you doing this to us, Todd? Now, Todd has been, he's had some backlash from some fans where they've said, hey, Todd, you lied to us. Well, did he really? I don't think he really did, because if you look at some of his past videos, he spoke about how they create the planets. He uses the term tiles. Now, in that tile, you create the entire world. And then, of course, they create quite a few tiles, but then they wrap that around the planet. When you complete one tile, it says go back to your ship so you can fly to the next. And I think this is where the animation of you flying your ship and then landing, on the surface is how it happens. A part of me would like to just walk on, but of course we know now that there are invisible walls, and if you want to complete the other, if you want to land in the other part of the the planet, you have to get back to your ship. I think there's another option which I find a little bit weird. It's almost like being whooshed away without you having to go back to the ship. So the idea here is go back to your ship and then say, hey, this is where I want to go, and it flies you there, and then you can explore 30-40 minutes from the ship. So okay, fine, all right, we just have to live with it. But you can only decide for yourself whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. Personally, I'm kind of 50-50. For me, it doesn't really, it does matter, but it doesn't really matter, because I can understand the technical difficulties that may have been involved to maintain the quality of graphics that they are maintaining. Therefore, they've had to contain it within a so-called tile. So again, that's the last one I'm going to give you on, when it comes to gossip. So that's the last of my gossip tales. I could actually say more, but I don't think I will. I think there's enough there for you to think about and ponder, comment on it. Please do leave a comment, because I'd like to hear what your thoughts are. Today is the 28th of August, another 2 days, and then I can download it from Steam. I hope they allow me to download it from Steam. I bloody paid 90 quid for it, so that's going to be a good day. Other than that, please like and subscribe, and tell your friends, tell your family, spread the word, support my channel, and I'll see you soon. Ciao for now.